everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at Dreamcatcher's 2 rings. They just released a Dreamcatcher cam, meaning a full cam shot of this particular routine and track, which makes me very excited as a choreographer to go in, analyze it with you guys, and enjoy it for what it is. So let's go ahead and check it out. Wow, the LED is so cool. Yeah. I just saw Gashan forget it just a little bit. Oh, what are we doing teasing, ladies? Okay. Hey. Oh, look at her doing a little circular glide. Okay, Dami. Nice. This one does give me B-side vibes. Totally fine, I like it. The rock and the bounce really help with it because of the BPM it is as well. I love the pull coming from Yu Hyun on this. Yeah. Cute. It's very cute. Okay, definitely if you really think about it, in comparison to Justice in this, it really feels like night and day in terms of difficulty. I have physically learned Justice, and I am here to tell you, it is a lot harder than you think it is on the timing of it. And I did record enough on one of my shorts to be able to release that, so that'll be released soon. Like, I legit feel that way. It's ooh, bless it. Okay, but here we go from the top here. This looks like a whole little vibe here. I love the levels represented. Of course, they're all sitting there rocking their head back. We're here for it. Love it. We have Dami coming on up. She said, hey, what you doing over there? Random no person that exists. You know, we're here for it. Nice. So they're right here into a V, and then we go and we have a little partnering of a transition we have a little switch up on. I love that little moment from Handong and Dami with the high-low. I really like that choice. And there's a little accent coming from Dami there too, which is cool. And then from here, everyone is nice and still. I don't mind the fact that it does give a little bit more of a sporadic kind of look because the spacing between everyone's choices is similar. So that's why it feels very intentional. Not only that, no one is looking front except for Sua, who is our feature. And let me see. Everyone's making just enough different choices where it definitely feels like it was very intentional and strategic this way. I would say the spacing right here could be just a smidgen, a little bit more refined if Dami scooted over, not even like a half a foot, right? But that's just such a preference thing. Nothing crazy. I like it, and you can see everybody clearly. Okay, Sua comes out. I love the little kick there. Notice the kick hits on that boom, that little sound. You kick. So if you think about like the consonants, whenever you like a K, like it has like a sharpness to it. So having a sharpness of your movement, or giving that kind of perception really helps whenever you hear that type of sound that comes across similarly to whenever we say certain sounds, they have a sharpness, if that kind of makes sense. So I like that. It looks really cool. Yep, and everyone's still not moving, and she moves over. Really nice. She walks away. Handong, she says hello. So she goes, she does a little brush, a little step forward. She brushes those arms up, does a little hip accent, boom, boom, nice. Now, some of these movements, if I'm being honest, they just kind of feel like placeholder movements, or we're moving for the sake of it, for the feature, not really diving deep into the track itself. It could just be, I mean, the rock genre is something they are very familiar with, but it's something I did note in my analysis of their marathon as I was watching them tackle really, really dense rock heavy tracks. Like what? There is some degree of lack of depth that they do have symptoms of showcasing, especially in the earlier eras. Now, Injustice, how it was structured, the number of people I think really helped advocate and find a middle ground for it, but it's because it's just them, I think it's a little bit easier to catch. And so that's my in general note here, just observation, is that some of our choices just in the features so far are feeling a bit, I'm doing movements, you know, I'm syncopating, but I'm not really going deep in the pocket of the track, meaning that the groove of the track is kind of not, it's not as developed here. And that's just an in general note for me, but also I know the logistics, Xian is not here, you know, a lot of turnaround adjustments had to be made, so I think we can extend grace where grace is due, and that is fine. I love the fact we have a fixed cam so I can appreciate what we're seeing at least. This part now, my MVP of this era, I'm going to be honest, of between Justice and Two Rings, is got to go to Yuhyun, because she was the one that I followed for when I learned the Justice because of how she did it. I really loved her textures and I loved her choices. And you can notice how she's doing some of these choices is really nice. She's using her torso a little bit more than what I'm used to seeing, which is super cool. So she gets my thumbs up MVP award for this. We're definitely here for it. Love it. And then we take it around with the Shamrock. We're here for it. And not a highway. Yeah, and a little twinkling out. We're here for it. Bringing it back, and then we reset, bringing it in. We have a lot of little vroom vroom kind of actions, which, you know, with, I'm assuming they do deal with driving. I wonder if they're going to have a visual for this. I think it would be cool. But whenever you operate with gloves, you do have a higher risk of, if you all have gloves on and you're doing things in front of you up high, we're going to naturally want to clock the symmetry and balance between your two hands if you're trying to go parallel, as well as you in comparison with others. It's easier to notice if you guys are clean or not. So that's something that Dreamcatcher, I think, could totally handle that challenge on. It doesn't bother me at all. I like that pull, step through. They do a little pas de bourrée, and then they kind of dip through. They do a little brush tracing on the sides of their hips, which is nice. Faster, and so they go and they pull closer. They bring it up, and then drive, which is nice. And then, of course, I kind of feel like it was balanced because they did it on the first side, and then they go and reverse it on the other side. I like that part. Boom, little ponies. They throw it on the second one. They take it up, boom, throw, and then we're coming back in, brush, and then from here, you're gonna notice, if you watch Gaihyun, you could tell on her face she's about to be off, so just watch. That part's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Drive. That part, the dun, you can tell on her face, I made a mistake. Is that right there? Yeah, it's because it's slower and it's very readable what they're doing. The mistakes are easier to see. Yep, so she drops it down, so that it is what it is. So they go, take the arm, da with a little brush. I like that choice. They pick it up. And she's just making it work. I like that. She gets right back in. Go to the front. Look at that, and then you have a little shamrock to get out of it. Order nice. Now this right here, this is a straight up T. She's taking her hand and tracing it up her body. Goodness, and she's dropping it low. No, I feel like out of everybody, they would, like, I wouldn't want them doing that with the dancer, but doing it with each other because they have such a relationship. Like, it's fine. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really, like, if they had a guy doing that on them, ooh boy, you know, I kind of feel like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I think it's because, like, if you think about, what was it, 17, whenever they do, like, a lot of these, like, flirty things with each other, it's very, there's, like, a heavy platonic, like, camaraderie that's in play. Does that make sense? And if you know, with those who are carrots, and then those who are insomniacs, like, it's definitely, in general, I like the fact that they're doing it to each other, if they're gonna do it, in comparison to, like, some stranger. I just feel like it would catch everybody off guard. Like, this feels off guard. I'm like, okay, I bet they had a blast in the dance practice space trying to figure that out. Like, that's what you think, not a, oh my gosh, the scandal. Do you know what I mean? I think that's kind of my point. A little accent there. Cray, boom, boom. We do a little double bounce coming out of it. And then we do a little body roll with the accent with the shoulder. And you have Sua. She's walking forward to reset right here in a nice little column. A little swish switch of the hips. And then you have Dami coming back in. And I like this where they both have their heel and they're tapping and taking that head and poking it forward. We're here for it. Dami comes back in. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yep, and that right there, the little glide. Now, do I think it could be a smidgen smoother? Of course. But I got to see it enough to know what it is. So that's pretty good. We're killing it right here. They go, boom, they come up, and they go brush, brush, where they kind of intertwine with the bottom of the palms to really make that visual come to life. Then that's right there. They bring it over. It does feel like we're doing I think it's like I don't think it's really a Reebok or something along those lines. But then they go right there into a little Harlem Shake variant. And then I like the levels here. So we're going low, mid, high. I know Dami, she's bending her knees a little bit more, which was what we're seeing with Sua's a little bit higher, more in the standing position. So I like that. It was a subtle little layered formation choice, which was cool. And then look, really nice, well done on the spacing. They go, they brush into a little pas de bourrée, and then they trice it once again. And now we have two little groupings right here, which is nice. They chug it down. Drive, I like the opposition on that, where you have Jiu, she goes and she's the opposite, everybody else goes the other direction. Really great way to still clock your feature, but still have it complementary. Really nice. Yep, boom, Dana. Yep, little accent with the hips. We're here for it. Now I'm trying to think, I don't think Dreamcatcher has really done this particular niche before. When I'm just like thinking at the top of my head, if this reminds you of another track of theirs, let me know, because I can't think of it right now, but it's been a couple months since I've like listened to all of their tracks and done an analysis on all their dancing, so I could be so wrong, but just let me know, because it could be because this is just a different kind of vibe that they're presenting. Goodness gracious, my girl. I love her movement quality on this. So if you do choose to cover this, follow her. Like, honestly, she is killing it right now. Goodness gracious. Maybe she's channeling her inner Emma from Bad Villain. We drop it down. Really nice. I like this here where you have Jiu, she comes up, she has her moment, and then everybody's doing a little snake, but they're maintaining a lower level, which is really nice. They come up, and then they do a little body roll, but notice they're letting the chest, so they're pulling from that back to really make it a moment, which is really nice. And then we go down. Da-na-na-na-na. Yeah. They go and reset, they go hit, hit, really nice, and then we're great spacing. They're all nice and low, very intentional. I even like where they're going with the hands. And then you have Gahyun hanging out as our feature. She comes up, oh, yes ma'am. Everybody else, I love that. That was a beautiful little ripple into just a little add-on there. Super fun. We go back down, and then new feature, and then we go and we do a nice little bleed add-on once again. This is from here. So they did going from one side over, and then they went from one side over, and then we're going and we're doing an add-on from the inside out. So I like that. Just within the 3/8 counts that we're given 3 different types of add-ons, which I really like. Fun. It keeps us being able to appreciate what we're watching. Nice. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's just so interesting. When you watch Gahyun, to me, it looks like they really did not have a lot of time to learn this. It's really what it feels like. Because also, That right there, that's a space for Shein right there. I'm telling you that. Or like this was structured for 7. But that's the first time out of all of it that I've noticed that there is an obvious gap. But just with looking at Gaihan, they're always looking very prepared in their choreography. This is the first time I've noticed it multiple times that we're like not very clear on what we're supposed to be doing. And that's just so interesting to me. So I am curious about turnaround time if they happen to mention it in a live, because they're doing a fantastic job if their turnaround time was like 2 days, because this is, you know, even though it is on the simpler side, it's still a lot of content and they still have to prep for Justice. Like, it's still stamina building because Justice takes a lot out of you. And then in this case here, you have, this one can be deceptive as well, because anytime that you're doing movement at all and singing, it's going to require more stamina of you than if you're just singing. So I like that. That was a nice little call and response. Da-da-da-da. This really great, fantastic way to have one group go and then another group go. Showcases great dynamics, but also maintains and keeps your features featured, which I really, really like. That's super cool. Love that. Yep, boom, faster, deeper, they come back in, and then these two stay up, and they go drive. So these two over here do not finish the add-on, which is fine. Or no, it's technically, I would call that a call and response type of cannon, which is really cool. So they go drive right to a little knee slide, they throw, and so now it's still a little call and response, which I really like. Da-da-da-da-da-da, and then they do a nice little hip dip in there, and then we do a little step out. Now notice they're not just stepping out, they're stepping out and putting weight on it, and that's how it comes across a little bit more grounded, which really helps in this particular style, which is nice. Then they dig it in, done, boom, and a hit, and they drive once again. Now that, I really like the smoothness and legato of letting the knee and the foot kind of promote where they're going and let the body have this little pull. Just like if you're on a motorcycle, the motorcycle goes and it takes you with it. So I like that type of dynamic that they have in play for that. Now over there's another little pocket right there in honor of our OT7. Now would I like to see an OT7 version of this? Yes. Now this feels like we're a cipher. I like that she stayed on, I like that she's trying to stay on tempo. She's syncopating the pop, pop, pop with the brush, brush, brush. She comes out. I like the little accent she did there. Subtlety. I think it's the 3. I think that's what this is. Yeah. Super subtle. Boom. Over them. We walk. 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 And then we go. Boom. We do a nice little rotation. Because we have stuff on our wrists, it really showcases a little bit more clearly, which is really cool. Up. And then we sit right there in it. So in general, is this the most complicated choreography Dreamcatcher has done? No. But do I think that logistically this could have been one of the tightest turnaround times that they've had to navigate through? My gut tells me there is a higher chance of that because of how some of them were coming across whenever they were trying to remember the choreo on stage. Or maybe it was just a fluke at that time. It happens. When I'm on stage sometimes, I blank out. That is life. It happens. Professionals do it more times than you think. It's just what do you do when that happens? It's not an if, it's a when. So I digress. My point being, really well done. It's super fun. I love the drastic difference, but there's an underlying like rock tone about it, but one has more heavier like hip hop presence. And I think BPM plays a role into that. And of the context of movement and of costuming really help as well. And then on the other one, it definitely gives that more, honestly, the choreography is just like icing on the top. You normally don't expect to have choreo to a track like that, which is what makes it really cool. So we're here for this. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more Dreamcatcher, I have a lot of it. I have all of it early released and ready to binge away. The entire discography that I've looked at so far on Patreon, and everything gets early released, just like this video on Patreon, at least hopefully a day early, just depending on their comebacks. And if you just want to hang out on YouTube, I'll be there living it up alongside all the other fans, which is really cool. As somebody who has definitely been an admirer of groups that I've tackled in a marathon context, I really have appreciated what Dreamcatcher has brought to the table on this comeback, and it's made me very excited to see their future works. So, my name is Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye!